Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and fellow enthusiasts. I, Khadija Tulkubra, member of 16th Batch Lead House, extend a warm welcome from EduFam International Academy. EduFam International Academy. It's a gateway to a transformative education experience with over 30 short term courses in leadership, management, communication, and lifestyle coaching. They empower individuals across diverse domains. Led by Dr. Halima Sadia, EduFam fosters educational discussions on YouTube channels like JAHAN-E and Khushi Karaz, along with Kalm, the Talk, and extends to educators through initiatives like Teachers Clinic, providing a platform for sharing experiences. The commitment to inclusivity is reflected in the affordable fees and complementary initiatives, ensuring education is accessible to all. Join EduFam for a lifelong learning journey that transcends transaction, driven by unique philosophy and visionary leadership. Today, we are diving into the essential skills that not only shape great leaders but also fosters strong emotional experience. Thrilled to announce that today we are joined by an extraordinary business improvement specialist with an impressive 40 years journey in the cooperative excellence. As a driving force behind the Resolve Asia and a key player in MEMC Electronic Materials INC's remarkable transformation, he brings an impressive wealth of experience. A chartered accountant and certified coach, his passion fuels leadership and performance enhancement for organizations. Ready for unparalleled success, allow me to introduce this dynamic professional, Mr. Nara Subramaniam. I extend a formal invitation to you, sir, to honor us with your wise and inspirational words. Over to you, sir.
Wow, thank you so much, Khadija. That was really so interesting and so exciting to hear that even I myself want to log in and listen to myself. Thank you so much. That was a nice introduction. And again, as always, I'm so happy to be here with Dr. Halima and on her platform, and all the wonderful things that she has been doing in relation to leadership. So today, our topic for discussion was going to be on leadership and emotional intelligence. A very interesting pair of discussion topics. And I was thinking about the topic, and I was also thinking that so much has been spoken about leadership, and so many different types of leadership. Whether it is like transactional or transformational or strategic leaders. Leadership by example, etc., etc. And so much has been spoken. So what is new? What's new in the world of leadership? I would say that excellent leaders are born every second, and we all are looking forward to excellent leaders to lead us, out of the issues that we face. But just like excellent leaders are born every second, so are bad leaders are born, and so we have to contend with the good leaders and the not so good leaders, right? So what makes a good leader? If we look at leadership and what makes a good leader, we need leaders who are able to guide, inspire us or inspire their teams towards the common goals for the common good of all people. That's actually what we are looking for the common good of all people and for life on the planet. As we said, bad leaders are also there, driving people towards common goals, common negative goals. So it leads us to finally, as followers, we need to distinguish whom to follow. We need to follow the right leaders, right? The second part of the topic was emotional intelligence. And I'm sure, all of you or many of you know emotional intelligence. A quick definition of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, in short, means the ability to understand, ability to manage emotions, both in ourselves and in others. So effective leaders often possess high emotional intelligence. This is what takes them and allows them to navigate relationships, communicate empathetically, and also make thoughtful decisions, thoughtful, insightful, and informative decisions. Isn't it a crucial skill that requires them to foster a positive environment? So think to yourself, who are the good leaders, who are the effective leaders that you know, and what makes them better than others? How do they foster a positive environment, a positive work environment, for example, in your own working environment? Or how to achieve long-term success in personal and also in business endeavors, those of you who are in business or in entrepreneurship. So the team always aims to understand the problem, typically through research. So when leaders are looking to look for good teams, the teams are looking for leaders who are empathetical to them. Okay, and empathy is crucial to various ways of thinking, various ways of management. And this is where we say that leaders actually need to be empathetical. It's all about people. Leadership is all about people. So empathy is what really connects leaders and the followers. Now, how do we say that leadership and emotional intelligence and how to connect with your teams? How to connect effectively with your teams? How do we do this? We can do this by prioritizing open communication, because communication, as we said, is what really links people to one another. And when you communicate, you also want feedback. You want constructive feedback. So the leader needs to get proper, good, effective, and constructive feedback. We need to give that constructive feedback and ensure that leaders are also doing what they need to do. Okay. The leaders need to foster a supportive environment. They need to make sure that everyone feels valued, and they need to lead by example. They need to show that truly they are considerate. They're looking for what the people want and what are their requirements or what are their needs. This way, they can actually encourage a collaborative environment. Otherwise, leaders and followers are disconnected. What else do they need to do? How else are they going to connect with their teams? They need to build a rapport. They need to have a regular effort building activities, team building activities. This is something which they need to ensure that there is a connectivity which is there with their followers and with their team members. Okay. And sometimes we are just talking about team building, and teams get together to do team building, and they find that after that's gone, there is nothing really which is really holding them together. So this is where the rapport building, rather than just pure team building, that's going to be of high value. Okay. And think back, like when you have gone for trainings or when you have gone for activities together, and you find that it's very short-lived. So what is the difference between an activity which actually continues to build for future purposes rather than just for that particular event? So look at that. That's how you will be able to distinguish. And leaders also need to recognize the activities by their teams. They need to reward them, not only reward individuals, but also reward team contributions. Sometimes in teams, you find strong individuals who are able to deliver, but as a team, they're not able to. So we need to find teams as well as individuals who can contribute and strengthen their bonds, okay, for the organizational benefit. Finally, leaders need to be transparent about the goals. You would have found very often that these goals and vision or missions are not clearly understood by everyone. And this is an area where things can actually break down within the team and with the leaders. Among the team, intra-team as well as inter-team, as well as leaders and the followers, the team members. So we need to have transparent goals, need to have goals which are accepted or assimilated by everyone. Get the teams to be part of the decision-making process. Okay, when you do that, you will find that the team members will have a better and enhanced sense of connectivity and shared purpose. Okay, so I would say the way to connect with teams would be open communication. Create the culture of communication where all the members are comfortable. Think back situations where this has not happened in your environment or in your case, and what could have been done different. Okay. Number two would be like active listening. And active listening also means that the team members must be vocal. If you do not have the right narrative, if you do not speak up, the leader also may not even understand what are your requirements. If we keep quiet, the leaders will continue to do what they are doing. So on the other hand, leaders need to practice active listening by focused and concentrated understanding, responsive as well as responsible behaviors by them, remembering who are the teams and what are their environments or what are their requirements. This will foster trust. This will also show that the team members' perspectives are valued. Okay. Third one would be the feedback. As I mentioned just now, the team members must offer feedback. The team leader also must offer his own perspective, his or her own perspective of what is a specific and constructive feedback aimed at improvement. Last of all, and I would say most important, is empathy. It comes back to, again, understanding, acknowledging what is the emotions. Not many people know about being empathetic. Okay, and this is something which is becoming more and more important in the world today. Showing empathy by recognizing the team members' experiences, expressing genuine care, and create a more compassionate work environment. So I would say think through all of these areas in which you have found that your leaders have or have not been doing, and then speak up. Okay, we do also need to keep our leaders in check, in place, as well as enable them to lead properly. So on the way to leadership, I would say, in my own experience, I would find that there's been lots of times where leaders themselves are also rejected. In your own, again, and in your environment, let's say, when you have applied principles of leadership, when you try to lead, you might have come across failures. So take that failure, don't take it as the whatever rejection or whatever failure is ultimate. Take it as a calibrator. Okay, this is an important mindset. Rejection as a leader is not a failure of the leadership. Take it as a calibrator, provide valuable feedback, insights, and refine your approach. Refine your approach, which means further different strategies would need to be applied in order to lead the people out of that particular environment. Use the rejection as a learning experience to fine-tune your own strategies and improve on your resilience and skills. So there's no rule which says that everything has to be right or everything has to be figured out right. So every step forward is a progress. So between leaders as well as team members, every step forward is progress. So I'm always thinking about a particular statement which was said by a very strong leader. I'll read out his quote: "In the symphony of life, your journey is a composition which is uniquely orchestrated by your experiences, and each note of your challenge and harmony shapes your intricate melody of individuality," which means talking about your individual experiences and stringing them all up. So that creates like a melody. Okay? Embrace the rhythm, and your uniqueness is actually very, very important. So each of us as a team member are also very important individuals of the entire team. So work with the team, work with the leader, and ensure that the leadership is a two-way journey, not a single one-way journey. All right. This is what I wanted to share with you all in terms of how do we connect with team members by applying emotional intelligence. I hope this has been something of use to you, and I do wish all of you all the best towards your leadership journey. Thank you very much.
Wow, 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 Mr.
Back to
Lara,
you, Dr.
wonderful points and all practical points you have mentioned. Thank you very much for sharing in the light of your own experience. And really, it was insightful talk. And there are many questions that is coming to our minds, and maybe we are going to ask those questions after the session. Thank you very
Sure.
much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for blessing us with such wonderful and empowered information. We are truly honored to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Now, get ready to be introduced to the unstoppable force in education, an educational powerhouse, Dr. Halima Saadia. Dr. Saadia is a distinguished and influential figure in the realm of education. With a wealth of experience and trailblazing career, she stands out as a driving force in shaping educational landscapes. As a visionary leader, mentor, and innovator, Dr. Saadia has left an indelible mark on the educational sector, contributing significantly to advancement of teaching methodologies and curriculum development. So brace yourself for an exciting journey into the world of wisdom with the incredible Dr. Halima Saadia leading the way. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Khadija, for the wonderful introduction. And I don't think that I deserve those many words, but thank you very much. I accept with the generosity. Thank you. Now, my dear
Ma'am,
friends, emotional intelligence and how to connect with your teams. We all know that we are human being, and not only human being, but the animals also have the emotions. How we have to acknowledge the emotions, how we have to understand the emotions, how we have to uh, regulate the emotions and manage the emotions. That is the intelligence that God has given to us. And that intelligence, which is associated with emotion, is emotional intelligence. So today in this session, we are going to learn about emotional intelligence, why it is important, and how we are going to have the emotional intelligence as a leader. Let me narrate some examples and the stories. Who doesn't know Google? So Google has a project that is called Google's Aristotle project. And under this project, they have taken 150 teams, and those 150 teams like comprising from 3 members to 50 members, and they were interviewed again and again and asked the questions, and that questions have given the insight that the team that has more emotional intelligence, or the leaders, those who have more emotional intelligence, were the best performers. And when they were questioned that how they are able to perform so well, their answer was that we had provided the psychological safety to the team members. This is really a wonderful example. Now, again, if you look at the Pepsi company, and there also the Pepsi also has introduced the emotional intelligence development program, and there they found that after attending the programs, their leader were able to improve their collaboration, communication, and even conflict resolution. That is really a great thing, because at workplace we find quite often that there are conflicts and unresolvable conflicts, but because of emotional intelligence, they were able to resolve it. Now let's look at the example of Johnson & Johnson. There also the sales department were interviewed, and there it was found that the sales department, those who have better emotional intelligence, they were able to connect with the team members and with the customers very closely, rather than the others, those who lack in this. Similar thing was conducted by Microsoft, and there also they found that the leaders, those who have the intelligence, like emotional intelligence skills, their team has performed better, and they have reduced interpersonal conflicts. This is really something great for any organization when they are able to reduce the interpersonal conflicts. Now, Harvard Business Review has published a business review that there they found that there is a correlation between emotional intelligence and team effectiveness. When Harvard Business Review has something that we all have to pay due attention and we all have to watch closely that what exactly the review says. The review says that the members of the team, those who have higher emotional intelligence, they have demonstrated better problem solving ability and they have more adaptability in them, and overall their performance was better than others. Similar research was conducted by Yale and Yale Center of Emotional Intelligence, and there also it was found that when they have more emotional intelligence, they found that improved collaboration, communication, and conflict resolution. Similarly, we can see the example from all over, and as we all know that Daniel Goleman is the person who has emphasized, who is the pioneer in the emotional intelligence, and he has conducted the researches that shows that if we have the emotional intelligence at the higher level, our team is going to perform even better. The similar case study is with the pharmaceutical company. There also it was found that when they were trained and they were given the due exposure to the emotional intelligence skills, it was found that they were able to have even better medicines for the people because they can correlate themselves and they have more empathy and they have done better than before. Similarly, there is the example of Tech Start team that when they have emotional intelligence in their team members, they found that it was working out very well. My dear friends, after looking at these examples, it's high time for us to understand that what exactly emotions are, how our emotions impact on our decision making, how important the emotional awareness is, whether we are aware of our emotions and other emotions or not, how emotional intelligence help us to resolve the conflicts and prevent us from the conflicts, and how it enhances empathy and how it builds the morale of the team. So before I go into the details, let us watch a video. This video is going to give us clear understanding that how emotional intelligence can be understood and how we all have to, as a leader, have to understand the emotions of not only self, but emotions of others. So here we go. I hope my screen is visible to you all.
Yes, ma'am.
Emotional intelligence, also known as EI or EQ, is the brain's ability to see feelings coming and then to use them, listen to what they've got to say, and manage them effectively. People with lots of EI recognize their own emotions and can identify them in others. This allows them to discern between different feelings, adjust their inner states, and communicate better. Perhaps the most relevant model of emotional intelligence was developed by the psychologists John Mayer and Peter Salovey, who defined it in 1990 as the sum of 4 skills: perceiving, using, understanding, and managing emotions. Perceiving emotions is our ability to detect them in faces, pictures, and voices, including in ourselves. It's the foundation of emotional intelligence and makes all other processing of sentimental information possible. Using emotions is the ability to align our hearts with our heads. People who are emotionally intelligent can perceive their changing moods and, as a result, may change what they do to channel their feelings effectively. Understanding emotions is our ability to comprehend the complex relationships between feelings. It involves recognizing and describing how moods evolve and change over time. Managing emotions is the ability to regulate feelings in ourselves and in others. People who are good at that can control their sentiments, manage their moods, and are able to influence the emotions of others. While some people seem to be naturally gifted with all 4 abilities, others have to work hard on every single one of them. The good news is, most of us can improve our EI through mindfulness, exercises, therapy, and education, and it seems it's worth the effort. Higher emotional intelligence often correlates with higher academic and professional success. This is because our emotions and the way we manage them impact directly on our brain's ability to listen and learn. As Peter Salovey concluded, people in good moods are better at inductive reasoning and creative problem solving. So what do you think? Is emotional intelligence something we can and should try to teach in schools? And if so, how? Tell us your thoughts and experiences of improving your own.
So my dear friends, can we have a quick review or quick check on the understanding of the video that we have just now we have seen? Okay, how many aspects of emotional intelligence? Yes, any one of you can unmute and please tell me.
4.
Yes, can you tell me what all are there?
Perceiving, understanding, using, and the last one, I forgot the last one.
Well done, well done, well done. Yes, will you please help your friend?
Yeah, please.
Yes, can you help your friend?
Using and
Perceiving is the first
but
one.
yeah, perceiving is the first one. Using and finally
Second,
output.
understanding is third, and fourth is managing. Thank you very much.
Manage.
A big round of applause to Fiza. Thank you very much, Fiza.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so the first thing is that how we perceive. And for that, it's important for us to have thorough knowledge of the emotions. Here we are going to have a very, in the fun way, we are going to learn about different types of emotions. You know, if we don't know, have you seen any child? You know, when you ask that, okay, my darling, what happened? How are you feeling? They'll say, I'm sad, I'm happy. And maximum they will say, I'm angry. So they only know these three emotions. Although we all know that how many emotions are there are different emotions, but since we lack the understanding or we lack the vocabulary of the emotions, that's why it is difficult to exactly even know our own emotions, that what exactly is happening in me. So let's take some help from this word war, where with fun we are going to learn. Okay, so yes, I'll just click the deal and you all have to say the words. That's all. This is the game. Okay, please unmute and just say what I am dealing. Okay, I am dealing with. Yes, start. Say the word.
Grief.
Grief,
Yes, together.
Happiness.
happiness,
Happiness, amusement,
amusement,
acceptance, gratitude,
gratitude,
Stress.
stress,
Confidence.
confidence,
pride,
pride,
excitement,
disappointed, anger, affection, confusion, surprise, ease, shame,
sadness,
sadness,
joy,
joy,
disgust,
disgust,
frustration,
frustrated,
fear,
calmness,
love,
enjoyment.
Okay, so my next question is that how many emotions you have come across while you were repeating?
A number of
Plus 20.
Any idea? Any idea?
Plus 20.
Plus 20, okay, very close. Any other guess?
Um,
Yes,
Not exactly.
those were 25. Okay. So basically, if we see though, we can see that our emotions are basically like, it is not hard and fast, but there are different variations. But basically, like, these are divided into happy, sad, angry, disgusted, fearful, bad, and surprised. And then further, we can see the division of these emotions. You know, some are positive emotions and some are negative emotions. And first step is to understand these emotions in us and as well as in others. That is the first and foremost thing that is required from all of us. Now we are talking about the emotional intelligence of a leader. Okay, because for the leader, even emotional intelligence is needed at higher level. What exactly is that higher level? Let us watch a video and then try to understand that why we are emphasizing on the emotional intelligence for a leader.
Don't think I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're complaining about. I was late just once this week, and it was only 6 minutes. It's not the minutes, it's the principle of the thing. You know, you have got an attitude on you a mile wide, and that's what's killing me. The others on the team, they're having to work harder to fill in for you. See, I can't win, you know? I mean, I yell at you, it affects the morale of the rest of the team. You know what I think? I think you're slacking off on purpose, aren't you? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't cut it out real fast, I'm gonna take some action. Oh, what action are you gonna take, Raphael? You're gonna fire me for being 6 minutes late? Take it any way you like. Are you threatening me? You know, I don't get paid enough on this job to have to deal with this kind of junk. Now, I don't want to take drastic action, but if you keep pushing me,
Yes, friends. How will you take it? What did you understand?
and she was late, 6 minutes late at the work.
Mhm.
And then the manager was upset about this. So he was trying to, like, he was making her understand that she should be on time, but she was like careless about her attitude. That's what I feel.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else? Mr. Nara, what you have to say about this?
Okay. Like what Fiza mentioned is correct. The fact is that she says she was only late 6 minutes, but the leader thinks that, perceives that it is more than once, whereas she says it's only once. So he's obviously not not emotionally stable as he addresses her. He could have dealt with it by calling her to a room instead of having an open confrontational affair in front of so many other people, and that's interrupted everybody's work and also caused a lot of problem. The very thing that he was trying to avoid, actually he created himself. So it created a lot of upset among all his people, and now they will also get disturbed. They may even lose faith in him as a leader.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Nara. It's beautiful, beautiful interpretation that you have given. Exactly. You look at the faces of others, that how they were looking at the leader.
Mhm.
And you know, when there is such situation, believe me, that the sympathy of all other people will be with the staff, not with the leader. So the
Not
leader
with the
has
leader.
to have the intelligence, that much intelligence to deal these things in private, as Mr. Nara has rightly said. So dear friends, the first and foremost thing in the emotional intelligence is that self-awareness. We have to know that which emotion I am going through right now and the other person, not only me, but with whom I am dealing. So this self-awareness plays central role in the emotional intelligence, and we should have the reflective exercises for that so that we can reflect on our own actions and what were the triggers behind that action? Because behind every action, there is a trigger that is governed by our emotions. And that's why we take that action. And we have to encourage openness to ourselves also. I realize that many a times I have covered my own feelings and emotions, and I have not even attended in my own mind. Although I was so furious, angry, and I used to shout like anything, not like this gentleman. For me, this gentleman is still far better than me, as I used to be when I was like the fresh leader. I can say that I have just taken up the leadership role at that time. So, because, we close our mind, we don't want to listen even to our own emotions. And we pretend that everything is okay, everything is fine, everything is going on well. And when anything goes wrong, we blame others, while there are many reasons within us. So that openness is there. Then continuous improvement is required for the self-awareness. Maybe the amount of awareness I have for myself now, maybe 20 years ago, I didn't have that much awareness about myself. And when we have the self-awareness, that certainly impact on the work and performance. Second thing is self-regulation, not only awareness, but we have to regulate. We have to regulate our emotions at the workplace, how it has to be, in the house, how it has to be, with the family, how it has to be. That regulation is important. We should have the mindful techniques to regulate our emotions. We have to have a stress reduction, because mostly negative emotions comes when we are under stress. So how we can reduce our stress, and then how we are going to have the positive impact on the team. And for that, we should try to find out the training opportunities for ourselves as a leader and for the team members as well. And the most importantly, as we all know, that motivation plays very important role. And if we motivate the team, you will find that they are into positive emotions. You release an energy, and the entire atmosphere of the team is very positive. And motivation is extrinsic also and intrinsic also, as we all know very well. But how we are going to give them more intrinsic motivation, like where they are feeling from within, they are feeling happy. I think a few days ago, I was talking to my son, and then I said, I am very proud of you, my son. Then I don't know who said and who told me that instead of saying that I am very proud of you, we should always say that, my son, you must be very proud of yourself. So that let him understand his own worth and his own importance. That is intrinsic motivation. And then that has to be aligned with the goals, and that is where our leadership roles come. So my dear friends, these are a few things that I have shared with you, but let me share the list of all the other skills that is very essentially needed to have high emotional intelligence. And those skills are, let me share my screen so that you all can have a look on this. So these are the skills that is immensely needed: empathy, effective communication, building trust, lifelong learning, collaboration, adaptability, appreciation, balance, conflict resolution, feedback, as Mr. Nara has highlighted feedback very effectively, sensitivity, openness, stress management, and diversity. So these are the skills that is required to have high emotional intelligence. But these skills, how we can develop, how we can enhance in ourselves, that really requires lots of training, lots of help from the mentors, and lots of help from ourselves as well. So dear friends, I think that I'm running out of time. So that's why I'm going to end here. Thank you very much for joining this evening. And I hope that you all are going to have high emotional intelligence so that you can manage your team effectively. And then at the same time, your team is going to give the productivity, not more than skill, they are going to give more productivity because of their emotional intelligence. So let us understand each other, let us understand the emotions of each other and work accordingly. Thank you very much, and over to you, Khadija.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for showering us with the wise and inspirational information. And definitely, you deserve all the appreciation, and we all truly admire you and your hard work. Edifam has been organizing leadership courses, including 1 month, 1 week, and 6-month programs. I am excited to share news about the upcoming 1-week leadership course scheduled from February 18th to 24th. This course will focus on team building through emotional intelligence and connecting with the hearts of the team members. The registration fee is only 50 US dollars and seats are limited. So secure your spot and express your interest. Please click the provided link in the chat box. We now transition to the intellectual exchange with our distinguished guest speaker. Sir, given your experience and admirable personality, we would be honored to seek your advice, and we would like to pose a few questions that we believe your insights could greatly help us with. Sir, in your journey in achieving this outstanding position, while facing challenging moments, have you ever felt low? If so, how did you overcome them, and what advice would you offer others for the same?
Felt low. Could you just clarify that when you say felt low, you mean as a personal feeling, like motivational?
Yes, sir. Like, have you ever felt demotivated in your journey? And
Okay.
how did you cope up with?
Thank you. That was a good question. And in fact, when I was sharing a little bit earlier, I touched on something where, as a leader, we felt that we were rejected. We felt that we were trying to do something and then it didn't work. So sometimes we feel that we have tried to do something for the teams, for the people, and then it didn't work, or they rejected it. And therefore we feel low, as you put it, and we feel demotivated. And therefore we can very quickly slip into some kind of a rejection mode. And so this is where we do need to be self-aware. We do need to, like just now, the aspects that we were looking at, we need to perceive what's going on around us. We need to make sure that we do not fall into that below the line. If we start falling below the line, we will get dejected, we will get depressed, we'll start thinking we are doing things wrong, or people are not trusting us, not believing us, or not wanting to follow us anymore. So we need to be self-aware, we need to keep self-motivated. We could go and speak to somebody else and say, I did this and this is what happened and I'm not sure what's happening. Am I doing something wrong? So we have a mentor. Leaders also need to be coached. So we can go for coaching, we can have a mentor, we always look to them. And so we need to go above the line quickly. We need to recover quickly. So self-motivation, maybe check with somebody else, maybe even have a very frank discussion with a very confident member of our team and say, I did this, somehow something doesn't seem to go wrong, or something seems to go wrong. What's your opinion? Why are the team members thinking like this? So we can even get feedback, constructive feedback from the teams. I hope that clarified.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir. Thank you so much. I would definitely keep this advice in my mind when I'll be facing challenges. Over to you, Mrs. Parmeshwari.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm very happy to hear you.
Thank you.
Yes, my question is, what are the struggles you faced to achieve your goal? You faced so many struggles. Can you tell me that specify which is the most you struggled in your life to achieve your goal?
Okay. I guess in terms of my career, I would say that I've at least spent more than 40 years to get to where I am now. And there is always scenarios or situations where we will face challenges. So it's important for us to have a right frame of mind, and that we need to be so positive, that we need to be so confident, that we need to say that we can achieve, we can overcome. So that will keep us always on the positive trend. If we do have self-defeating thoughts or unconfident or inconfident kind of a mindset, then every single thing that we do, we will be second guessing. We will be worried every time someone comes back to us and throws something at us. There's a spanner in the works. So we cannot afford to let that go. So that's why I put it like above the line, below the line. I always want to stay above the line. So I want to keep continuously being positive minded, and I want to make sure that don't let anyone distract me or detract me from below. So also surround yourself. Number two, I would say surround yourself with other positive people. Also surround yourself with people whom you can have as a trusted circle of friends. And I'm sure you can find them. Even if you have one, that's good enough. That means it's like a buddy system. So always surround yourself with a buddy, with a few buddies, whether they are in a different environment, they're in a different scenario, they don't even work with you, it doesn't matter. And they could be relatives, they could be friends, they could be teachers. Also, number three, listen to audios, read books, listen to videos, and this will also give you an idea. If you check simple things like Google, okay, what to do if this happens to me? Okay, so these are ways. In the old days, you didn't have Googles, right? So if you ask me, when I went through, it was always seeking the counsel of friends. Like Dr. Halima said, reflect. Reflection is a very, very important aspect of thinking back. Why did I do this? What happened? So you think back. Then look for other mentors and look to gurus, and there will always be somebody to actually help you. I mean, there is always seeking divine help is always there. But on earth, these are the resources that is available to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your valuable words, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, Miss Mari.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mari.
Yes, sir. I'm very blessed with you because I have attended your meeting. I'm very happy to talk with you, sir. Now, everyone has one role model, no, sir? Then who is your role model, sir?
For me, the role model,
Yes, sir.
I guess I was always looking to have more than one role model. And so for me, the role model that I look at is that sometimes a role model is good in a particular situation. So therefore, you need to have a few role models. Okay, that's number one. So that means it is always dynamic. For me, when I look back at different times of my life, you will end up somebody who is very impressive to you. So in the very, very early days, when we are very young, we are impressed by people like even a movie star, an actor, and how that person does things, right? If you're watching TVs or movies, we all get very impressed by somebody. So in the beginning, in the early days, our parents are not our role models. For most people, it's always the movie star, the actor, somebody else, or maybe a good teacher, or maybe a very good student. So then they become a role model. So in school, we'll have a different kind of a role model. So it might have been the head of the school, or a very good teacher who is always very nice to us and bring us up properly. As we go forward into a working environment, then we find who is a very good professional, who is a role model. Then you don't forget the other role models that when you are growing up, they are still there. Because at a different point in time, you go back to that scenario, oh, that person did like this. So you still value and treasure those things, right? And at some point, I always come back to Mada, Pita, Guru, Devam. So finally, I found in life, the role model is always that your parents, your teachers, and look to who is your guru. Okay, so they will solve all the problems. But in our sense of maturity, our role model is different. We go through different periods of life. For me, the role model will always be that. So I will look at it, my parents, my teachers, and my gurus. I hope that helps you. Thank you, Mari.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nara. It was really a very insightful answer. Now, Gulshan.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
Good evening, sir. And I am very happy to have the chance to ask you a question. Uh, my name is Gurisha, and I am from, I have done MTech in electrical power system. And I have learned from your profile that you have worked in semiconductors and photovoltaics field. So I want to ask a question that what advice do you have for aspiring professionals looking to make a mark in the field of semiconductors and photovoltaics, drawing from your own experiences?
Wow, Gulshan, you've done a very good research.
Thank you, sir.
Well done, well done. Okay, I spent about 20 years of my career, the last 20 years in a semiconductor company. And also
Okay.
the later part of the 20 years was with a photovoltaic, which was in the solar wafer business. And
Okay.
so if you ask me, the career in the semiconductor business is semiconductors are here to stay. Semiconductors are even more important today than ever before in the world of AI and AR, VR. So we need more and more better performing, better efficient semiconductors and chips, and the entire electronic industry is growing at a very fast pace. If you know Moore's law, it always says everything redevelops and develops every 18 months. There's something new. So that's a theory of Moore's law. And semiconductors now, 80% of the world's semiconductors are made in Taiwan. So, for example, the other countries in the world are only producing the other 20%. So you can imagine the potential and the demand is actually huge. So the capacity in the rest of the world is huge. So the market is big, the potential is great, and the demand is ever going to increase. The second, in terms of the PV business and solar business, or even any other renewable energy, it's also going to continue. It's going to become so huge because of the issue of oil price, the quantity of fuel which is out there, natural fuels. So I would say the business is good, and go for it. Go for programs. Learn on your own, whether you're studying the technical degrees or the engineering electronics degrees, and go out there and become part of research and development. And there's more research and development required in terms of nano grade kind of materials and PV factors. So I would say I would encourage people to do and travel and make friends with people around the world, and including places like Taiwan, because that's where a lot of research is actually happening. Of course, the US and Europe. So I would say I would encourage that, and the future is fantastic for semiconductor and PV.
Thank you very much,
sir.
Nara. Now we have very special guest with us, Mr. Kamal Mehta with us. Mr. Kamal Mehta, are you there? I think we are not able to connect to Mr. Kamal Mehta. So thank you very much. Khadija, over to you, please.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Now I call upon Dr. Halima Saadia to deliver the vote of thanks.
So my dear friends, first of all, let me thank from the bottom of my heart my mentor, my friend, my colleague, and who is always available and ready to help out the people, those who are in need. And believe me that I have learned a lot from Mr. Nara Subramaniam, and he is the one whom I have taken so much time in understanding the business, because I am from the education background, and this field is really very new for me, and I was very unknown to do the basics of business that Mr. Nara has taught me. Thank you very much. And Mr. Nara is ready to teach even all our people, those who are from the education background, those who don't have the business background, because I believe that educationists can be a great businessman because they have the power of knowledge, and with their knowledge, they can even have lots of courses online, and they can even earn money also, so that they can help the other people with that money, with that extra or passive income. So Mr. Nara is thinking of starting a regular program, monthly program, where he is going to help us on the business development, first how to initiate the business, and then how to develop the business. Thank you very much, Mr. Nara, for taking this initiative. And
So,
my dear friend,
most welcome.
yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yesterday what happened, I was at the metro station of Garud, and there I met my old teacher, okay? And nowadays I'm traveling a lot into metros and into buses. Earlier, when I used to be in UAE, so I have not explored much because I was the principal of a school, and the school car used to come and pick me and drop me, and that was the only traveling. But now I am traveling myself, and I'm going into the public transport, and I'm enjoying a lot because I'm learning a lot every day. So the teacher came to me and said that, ma'am, do you remember that once I was going on the road and I was trying to catch the bus, and then you offered me a ride in your car, and then both of us went together to some place. I said, yes, yes, I remember. Then she said, okay, that was the last offer made by any principal to a teacher to me, and that I still cherish that moment. And I was so like shocked and surprised that how a small kindness, that I am going somewhere and some teacher is also going. And I have asked the teacher to come and sit with me. And then we started chit-chatting throughout the journey. And then the teacher got down from wherever she was supposed to get down. So this small gesture is also an example of emotional intelligence, because I keep myself in her place, that suppose if I was walking there and my principal or any head or boss used to pass, I expect from him, when he has seen me or she has seen me, that at least I expect that they should offer that, okay, can I drop you, or will you please come, or whatever is the way to offer. So that's why when I keep myself in the place of others, I find that we understand the emotions of other person. So before doing anything, my dear friends, let us keep ourselves in their place and then take any action or decision that's really going to make us emotionally intelligent person. This is the message from EduFam International Academy. Thank you very much for joining us. And we are going to again meet in the same forum after 15 days with some other guests, with some other wonderful topics that's going to make our lives beautiful and fruitful. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Fiza. Thank you, Khadija. Thank you, Mari. Thank you, Prema. Thank you, Fazlur Rahman. Thank you. Yes, Prema ji, Prema Subramaniam ji, thank you very much for joining us. And you have joined from Singapore. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, Abdul Khadir. Thank you, Humanuzat. Thank you, Hifzan Ahmed. Thank you, everyone. Do you want to say something, Prema ji?
Yes, good evening, Dr. Halima and all participants, including Mr. Nara. Well, I had a very, very enjoyable and very informative session, and I learned a lot. You know, these are things we learn along the way, and then it goes to the back of your mind, right? But thank you for bringing them to the fore again. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much
for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me for this function, for this session, Dr. Halima. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you and good night.